Corrin is the worst matchup for Ness. It's worse than Cloud and Rosa. I'll go Cloud every time.
Did he elaborate though?
Can't remember. But not that relevant anymore, because recently he came around. As we're seeing now in game 1 of Winter Semis, he is trying Ness versus Corrin again. I saw him mention somewhere, you know, it might not be as horrendous as I may have previously thought. Let's see.
You could say it was a mental block or something.
We're gonna find out as yeah, we're getting a first look demonstration at the Ness Corrin matchup at a pretty high level here today.
Both the Netherlands' best Ness and best Corrin.
Yeah, man, so this is definitely a matchup to study if you struggle with it from either side. Although I doubt Corrin struggle with Ness overall.
Not as much as the other way around, of course.
Oh, nice little neutral air for the edge guard, but Ramses saved this jump the entire time, making sure to use that Dragon Ascent.
Both these players being excellent players of these specific characters. Originally, of course, Ramses was a Zero Suit Samus main, so
yeah, he couldn't handle the inconsistency of the boost skin, man. Brawl Zero Suit is a whole different beast.
Imaginable, considering that Corrin has that tipper on a pin.
Yeah,
if you can get those more consistent, I think, than the RP from Zero Suit.
Definitely, and overall just a character that fits Ramses better, as you really want to go that high octane, high risk, high reward playstyle with Zero Suit. In this game, you know, you can do it otherwise, but that's the general consensus on what the best Zero Suit style is. And that's, as we can see on his Corrin play, not quite Ramses' way of playing Smash. Still, even with that safe, calculated play that Ramses promotes, S1 has been able to see through it and take the lead.
And now he's gone.
Yeah, a big dropkick from S1 coming out. And he's in the lead, which is exactly where you want to be as Ness. Exactly where you want to be as Ness.
Right now, I believe, of course, that S1 won't take too many risks, considering he already dislikes this matchup quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, as they both live in Brabant, they play quite a bit, so they are both very familiar with the matchup. So yeah, obviously what Ramses is going to want to do is going to do his absolute best to use his sword and his spin to ensure that Ness absolutely cannot get close to him and build his damage in a safe way. And he's been doing a pretty great job with that. Reads the air dodge and stabs him.
Now a small lead for Ramses again.
Yeah, so this is one of the matchups where you can really abuse Instapin to its maximum potential, wouldn't you say?
Of course, Bart, also known as S1, is a seasoned warrior. He doesn't go down easily, and he doesn't give up either. He's racking up damage as well. Both players are going very even right now.
Yeah, but we can't see you know, let this go unnoticed. But Ramses, after losing his stock with about 80% only on Ness, has pretty much taken back the lead. I mean, now we got a bit of hits for S1 coming in again, bringing them both perfectly even. But I think both of these players have pretty good composure in general. I think that's one of their stronger points. Okay, S1 pushing him all the way to the other side of the stage, but Ramses falling out of the forward air. That's quite unfortunate.
Something at a very dangerous percentage. One pin and what could be done.
Definitely, man. And Ramses knows how to get that tip aside B. Woo! Drop kick from Onen, almost doing it. What do you think is going to be the kill option here for S1?
I think it's going to be back out or an up air, but not a grab.
Yeah, I think indeed Ramses and Corrin have too good at tools to play around grabs. Catches the roll, but excellent DI from S1, knowing exactly where to go to avoid the blast zones.
Taking me out with the nair.
Was that a nair?
That was a nair indeed.
I could barely see it. Really fortunate trade for Ramses. As it is pretty hard to get right in between those giant wings, you know?
It is something that always bothers me is how I would say how much hitboxes there are on Corrin's RP, but somehow S1 manages just to nair Corrin out of it.
In terms of hitboxes, Ness is also up there, so that definitely helps.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true. There was one big clash of hitboxes.
So it's looking like we're going to Dreamland for game 2. That honestly makes sense.
Considering the platform choices. I suspect that Bar, of course, banned Battlefield. maybe Lilat? Who knows? I'm not sure how well Ramses is on Lilat. I knew he picked that stage back with Zeus and Samus, if I'm correct, but I can be wrong.
I think that the S1 is going to have banned the most wide stages where Corrin gets the most space to do her thing. I think that could be Duck Hunt because we run Duck Hunt here, and Final Destination. But honestly, you are highlighting what I think is a pretty big problem in this matchup. Like, most stages, honestly, are probably favorable for Corrin.
Which makes it very hard for a character as Ness.
Yeah, especially when you get to your bans, you know, there's so many places you don't want to go. Right now where S1 doesn't want to go is in the air because these juggles have been getting so much percent for Ramses. Oh, it got behind him with a smart roll. Only a jab for his efforts though. Ooh. The range on that forward smash is nothing to scoff at. Forward throw to put him off stage. This is where the big damage comes as Bart is an amazing juggler. And amazing with the PK Thunder. Look at that, man.
Getting these follow-ups is crazy. Out of a down tilt like that.
I mean, he got him in the air at about 50% off stage, and he hasn't stopped yet. And finally, after hitting 117, Ramses makes it back to neutral. He got a few hits here and there, but neutral really hadn't properly reset until he hit this high percent.
And this is going to be a difficult position for both characters.
Yeah.
However, Ramses taking out Ness with that forward smash.
Yeah, with this kind of rage and that kind of percentage on Ness, you don't need the tipper at all.
You don't need the tipper at all.
So it covered pretty much the entire distance, roll and normal get up, just timing dependent, and that's what Ramses always tells me. Rolling from the ledge is just not an option for the scoring. Too easy to cover.
And now the roles have been switched compared to the first game where normally Ramses was behind and S1 was in the lead. Now, however, these rolls around. I am curious to see how well S1 will adapt.
He's gonna use an up air.
As normally, S1 is using his head both physically and mentally.
As he creeps under Ramses as he exited that platform. But yeah, normally that is a really, really rough position for Ness to be in. Definitely not a character that has a great comeback factor. Or at least when it comes to, you know, taking the stock. In terms of percentage, this guy can do a lot.
Concerning how the previous stock went, this percentage shouldn't be too much of a trouble to getting back onto Ramses. However, S1 is in kill percentage, and Ramses is getting these forward smashes so many times.
And even a dash attack. Now what Ramses always tells me is that when he uses a dash attack, it's a missing boost. Because it's either gotta be an aerial or an insta-pin. But I think that dash attack was actually the perfect option there. Nice double PK rocket from S1. But S1, man, has to play such a hard neutral here versus Corrin. It's like, what does Ness really have to contest with these swords?
He's even surviving that.
Yeah, like he's getting hit and hit and hit, but the eye is on point. And basically for about 100% to the kill, S1 just didn't get to do anything.
No.
Like S1 is a master at keeping people in the air and exploiting their disadvantage state with numerous up airs and PK Thunders. Ramses is good at this as well, but also his character is really, really good at that.
Exactly.
One of the best jugglers in the game, no doubt.
And now we'll see S1 hits big for the stage he wants to go on. He actually goes to Battlefield, so I suspect he didn't ban Battlefield the previous time.
Yeah, I think in matchups where a character has the better neutral or better use of speed, which is in this case Corrin, because neutral is just really hard for Ness. I think these smaller stages can be beneficial for a character because you can corner them more easily. Then again, smaller stages or narrower stages, let me put it like that, are also really beneficial for characters with great burst range. And Corrin doesn't have great mobility, but it does have great burst range. So I think this is kind of a mixed bag for both characters. Oh, misses the grab. That is big, man. You need to get every hit you can get in a matchup like this.
S1 is utilizing the platforms with his down air cancel, but somehow he still managed to lose his stock.
Yeah, man, he is doing a great job with those movements, but Ramses, if he just Well, you know, just play correctly. But honestly, there is really, really little Ness can use to trick your opponent when you stay cautious and play reactionary as a sword character like Corrin.
Exactly. Right now, as Ramses already taking the lead percentage-wise, so he doesn't have to take any risk. He can still do, of course.
Yeah, this is just a juggle galore for Ramses.
S1 is having a very hard time actually regaining the ground.
Yeah, but you see that as soon as he gets him off stage, he gets at least multiple hits. And the trade at the end was unfortunate. If he had been sent in a better direction, he would have been able to continue the ledge trapping.
So Bart
Okay,
right
there
now
it
has
is.
to optimize everything he does.
Wasn't
Every damage he
faithful in the back throw just yet, but he gets the jump. Ramses late on reacting to that double jump, and he gets hit. S1 can still do this, but it's looking really grim. Sharp movement though. And he,
Very vigilant.
yeah, and it's also hard because when he does get a hit like PK Fire, which normally should be really big and should get him a lot of follow-ups and damage, Corrin can counter through that. Just like Bayonetta can pop the Witch Time in PK Fire, that move,
It's very frightening.
yeah, if you have a fast counter-like option, a lot of characters can get it in between the flames. Extreme cautious play from S1. He knows that one juggle situation could be the end of him. Dash attack to jab apparently. It's probably a misinput because you usually want to instant pin there, especially at this kind of percentage where you can kill. Okay, S1 got him at the ledge. This is right where he wants him.
Is S1 gonna make this comeback?
But S1 wasn't ready for a bold onstage roll by Ramses. But he's been doing such a crazy job at avoiding all these skill moves. And now he's putting Ramses back off stage at 80%.
And he takes it!
The drop kick with full rage knocks him out. And that is a 2-1 lead for S1.
This was very, very clutch for S1.
This
because
was crazy clutch, man.
Basically, he was already a kill percentage back when Ramses had 2 stocks.
Yeah, we were seeing like 30 to 110 or something. And in a matchup where neutral is this hard for a character like Ness, what we just saw was nothing but crazy. However, this is a best of 5. So, Ramses is going to get a chance to figure out what the hell was going on there and make sure it doesn't happen again.
How do you think Ramses will adapt to what happened previously?
Well, I think the correct answer to those kind of situations is to get extra patient yourself. We saw that S1 just wasn't getting hit anymore, playing a much more grounded game, so he would just need to worry about the pin, or if Corrin is close enough for a grab for a kill throw. And he just waited and waited and sought to get his little hits that got Ramses off stage. Because off stage is where S1 gets his mileage in this particular matchup so far. So I think Corrin definitely has the tools to simply just not make those happen. And you gotta make sure that he isn't getting those little hits. Easier said than done versus a player like S1, but that's where you want to look for it. You know, off stage is hell for both of these characters.
Oh, is that a stock? No. He just misses the pin.
Oh, excellent movement by S1. Ramses knew some shenanigans would be coming out, and he had his shield promptly up for the falling up there. Oh, this was not the DI you want. Now, it's actually an interesting move to the eye because it sends you almost the perfect 45 degree angle. Oh, wow! A trade with the neutral air. That's going to be enough to kill as Ramses does not have a jump.
That neutral air, man. It's scary.
It's super scary. I guess Ness can discard quite a bit in this matchup after all if you got the proper timing. But yeah, the Dragon Lunge. It sends you at an almost perfect 45 degree angle, which means if you DI in, you will sometimes die earlier off the top. And if you DI out, you sometimes die earlier off the side. There are these times, oh, that's a big bite. But yeah, there are these times where you don't want to DI at all, so you can just make sure you get to the maximum top left corner. And as I was explaining all that, went on a bit of a tangent, S1 has just been catching a lot of hits from Ramses.
don't count him out yet, though.
Oh, after last game, I won't do it.
He is at a very dangerous percentage, though. He almost has full rage, so you know what could happen. But first, he needs to rack up a few more percentages.
Well, more than a few, I'd say. And that is what you want. This time, he DI'd with the move. And this time he does it again, so he flies much farther, but he makes it to like the most top corner, because blast zones are rectangles.
The farthest corner of the stage.
Yeah, oh, and that's a grab. Definitely gonna do it. 8% short of a JV2. Ramses not letting it slip this time whatsoever.
And now we head into game 5. This is going on quite long.
Yeah, it's a close set. I mean, we got two fantastic players here. I mean, it's obvious as one, higher ranked player. But Ness has a lot of polarizing matchups, and Ramses is a smart guy. He knows what to do in this matchup, and we've been seeing the result of that. Sometimes the top player clutch just comes through for S1, and sometimes that control and matchup knowledge from Ramses just makes him seem invincible.
Exactly. Alright, let's see how S1 will now perform after a loss like that. Because most of the time you see S1 in this entire set being at a percentage disadvantage. He's being behind.
Well, that's not what you want to have as Ness, but he's getting a big platform extended combo.
Building percentage, getting the PK from the
super smart PK fire, but the second hit of the yo-yo will be late. Still, the edge trapping, or at least the cornering of Ramses continues.
Ramses being at a very difficult spot, getting that down smash.
Yeah, man, he knocked him in it too with the PK Thunder. Yo-yo use has been impeccable from S1.
S1 not letting Ramses get his footing back.
Yeah,
this constant pressure.
I guess we see why he thinks the matchup might not be as horrible as he thought previously. He's just really optimized his edge guarding and Joker game versus this character specifically.
So S1 looking for that finishing move. Just can't get it in properly because one wrong read and he could be gone himself.
Oh, reads the
there
let's
is
jump.
the up air.
Yeah, man. It's a nice little read. I know that Ramses really likes the ledge jump. He thinks correctly that it is probably the best ledge option as it comes to the standard get-ups.
Everyone trying to rack up as much damage before he loses another stock.
And it looks like he's doing a fantastic job at that, 60% so far. And without rage, 120 is a survival percentage, even if you're gonna get hit with a big hit. And especially on Battlefield, where the up throw is gonna kill later, might be a bit difficult for Ramses. S1 in full control. He has just been downloading and downloading and downloading. He just knows what's going to happen. Excellent tech from Ramses. And he misses himself, and he smiles as he reels back, because he has the wiggle room. He can actually smile right now, if we look at the percentage.
But let's not count Ramses out yet. This is still definitely a matchup in favor of Corrin.
Yeah, man, this is a matchup where if you play perfectly, you can always bring it back.
If S1 is going to relax just a bit too much, he will lose this game and he will lose the set. There is something on the line now.
S1, not really much of a choker though. Quite the opposite actually. This man's a downloader, which is gonna make it extra difficult for Ramses. Forward throw, not ready for the back throw, cross stage. Back throw, put him off stage. The aggressive option to get back.
At this percentage, I would think back throw would kill. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially as Ramses is building up rage as he's trying to make this comeback. Look at him running around. He knows he can't overcommit because Ramses won't allow it.
Both players being in a very tough position.
Yeah, Ramses having the superior neutral tools, but also the righteous fear of pretty much every aerial and the back throw that Ness has in his arsenal. Guesses correctly with the pin. And another pin to cover the get-up option. Oh, but one!
He missed the back air and he got punished for that. That cost him the entire set.
And normally that's really safe because it pushes you back. But the platform was like, nah.